Dress it up and make it real for me.
Eskimo, the coolest DJ in the world.
What's good, YouTube? This is your boy Retro Quin, and I'm coming at you with another sneaker video. Before I jump into this video real quick, I do want to give two big shout outs to some of my new subscribers. First shout out goes to KP Kicks, and the second shout out goes to Kicks Hype. I'll make sure to link both of those down in my description. Those are two up and coming YouTubers that wanted me to give them a shout out on my channel. So, y'all go subscribe to their channel. Check out the videos, share some of the videos, and just show them a little love so they can get their YouTube channel out there. Aside from that, I did go ahead and go through my second sneaker rotation, and y'all already know I do mine a little bit different. First, I like to go through and kind of talk about the different shoes that I wore for the previous week, and then directly after that, I like to go into my own feet. So let's get into it real quick. For Sunday, I decided to pull out the triple red Huaraches. Like I said, this will be one that y'all will see in a lot of my sneaker rotation just because it's very comfortable. But Sunday, me and my girl, we was out, looking for furniture and everything for our new spot. I told y'all we were moving in the last video, so check that out if you haven't seen it as well. But we was looking for some furniture and everything. This was a shoe that was, kind of within reach at the time, and I knew we'd be doing a lot of walking and everything. So I whipped these out, put these on, and got the job done for Sunday. But that's gonna wrap it up. That's gonna be the triple red Huaraches for Sunday. For Monday, I pulled out my Squadron Blue 13s. I had a short work day because I went on vacation. But this was one I really pulled it out because I haven't worn it in a while. This is one that really doesn't get much love from me. Y'all make sure that y'all comment down below. Also, I am planning on doing maybe like a top 10 shoes in my collection that don't get much love. Y'all let me know down below if that's something that y'all would like to see. But like I said, Squadron Blue 13s, really nothing special about the particular shoe. It is different. This is one of the different colorways in my collection, which features a Squadron Blue upper and hints of yellow as well. But that's gonna be the Squadron Blue 13s for Monday. For Tuesday, I pulled out the Lady Liberty 10s. This is another shoe that doesn't really get a lot of love in my collection. I'm really not a huge fan of 10s, but I did like this colorway. This was one that was very different, and I really got it, like I said, because it's very, very different. And I do plan on visiting the Statue of Liberty one day, in which I do plan on wearing these. Call me lame, whatever, but I just think this would be a good little concept to wear for that particular time when I do decide to take vacation and go check that out. But like I said, it's a pretty good shoe overall. Nothing nothing too crazy about it. But that's gonna wrap it up. That's gonna be the Lady Liberty 10s for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I whipped out my infrared 10s. Like I said, I do own a pretty good amount of 10s in my collection, even though I'm not really a huge fan of the 10s. This is actually my basketball shoe, so that's why it's a little beat. You all can kind of look, see some scuffs and some dinks and wrinkles and everything. But the 10s are real comfortable for me to hoop in. I was actually going to the gym that day, so I went ahead and threw them on. But I ended up getting tied up with some different stuff, and didn't get a chance to make it to the gym. But that's gonna be my sneaker for Wednesday, the infrared 10s. For Thursday, I decided to pull out the Yeezy V2s, the Oreo colorway. I had class for the first time, this spring semester, so I wanted to go ahead and make a bold statement by wearing the Yeezys. I've done a review on this, so y'all can go and check these out. I'll probably pop that down in the links as well, so y'all can check it out. But nothing major on it. Everyone already got the reviews out on it, so I won't talk about it too much. But that was going to be the Yeezy V2s for Thursday. For Friday, I pulled out the Old Faithfuls. These are the Brooks Adrenaline. I talked about these in my first sneaker rotation video. But I was doing a little work kind of all day Friday, so I didn't really want to mess up any of my good sneakers. So like I said, this is a shoe I kind of put on if I'm doing some yard work, or taking out the trash, checking mail, if I need to run to the grocery store, just a quick run. This is kind of just just that everyday shoe that I throw on. I think everyone should have some of these, not this particular shoe, but everyone should have that one or two pair of go-to shoes in their collection that they can kind of pop on and just go and not have to worry about anything. But that's gonna wrap it up for the Brooks Adrenaline for Friday. For Saturday, I decided to whip out the black toe ones. I think the Saturday that I wore these, that was the Black Cat 13 release. I wanted to go ahead and pop these on. I did think about picking up the Black Cat 13s, but kind of changed my mind last minute, so you know, I didn't worry about that. But I did go ahead and keep the shoes on. You know, kind of ran some errands, bought a few more things for my new apartment that I'm moving to. But we all know about this one as well. Very hyped up shoe. Everyone loves it. Materials on it, you know, the leather is very soft on it. I did do a review and on feet of these as well, so y'all go and check that out also. But that's gonna wrap it up for Friday for my black toe ones. That's gonna wrap it up for the sneaker rotation. Like I said, y'all stay tuned. I do have an on feet, you know, following this. And I do want to go ahead and thank everyone for subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are beginning to climb. My views are beginning to climb. You know, a lot of more people are starting to kind of get into my channel and everything. But, you know, I just need the help and support from y'all. Make sure that y'all continue to, you know, like my videos, comment on my videos. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see, you know, so I can put out that content for you. Also, comment down below if you did have a sneaker rotation for last week. You know, let me check it out. You know, if I like it, you know, of course I'll let you know whether or not I liked it. And which I love sneakers, so more than likely, you know, whatever you put out, I will like it. But I'll make sure to give you a shout out on my channel so more people can go and check you out as well. But like I said, like my content, share my content, you know, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And this is your boy Retro Quin. I'm out.